Okay, well, good morning, everybody. My name is Debbie Boyle. I'm a Platinum with doTERRA, and this week we're on our Grow to Premier program. We are talking about the topic of enrolling. So just to go back a little bit, we started with preparing, then we went to inviting, then we talked about the topic last week of presenting, and lots of good posts. I was really, really happy about that. The people were sharing about that. So we posted about, I know I posted about coaching classes, and some people did about presenting. Christine Johnson did a real nice quote from a Laura King class with her closing about talking about the different kinds of people that are attending class. I thought it was nice. And so booking from classes. So I guess what I wanted was just to see if you wanted to talk about anything about presenting, if there was something that you got a nugget from somewhere, or you learned something that you want to incorporate, or whatever. So that's what I'm looking for. Just any feedback or a topic or question you might even have yet on the topic of presenting before we move forward with enrolling. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Everybody's good to go? Good to go with that topic? Okay, all right. Okay, great. Okay, well then we're going to move on into enrolling. Well, this week, there's a lot being covered here. If you look at your guide here under enroll, we have the topics. They're going to talk about how to enroll with bigger kids, about resolving concerns that people may offer, talking about placements, how you make your money in doTERRA, about the importance of follow-up, and then also how to enroll others in LRP, and if you know, talking about membership overviews. So obviously we're not going to be able to talk about all of those today on this 1 hour call. We will be posting during the week and addressing these different topics, but for those of you that are on the call right now, what are your questions in these topics? What would be a question that you would have that you would want answered? I'd like to go to that place first. Annette, you're muted if you're talking, honey. Annette, we can't hear you. You're muted. Run your mouse over the bottom of your screen, and there's a mute button in the lower left-hand corner, and you have to unmute yourself. Here, maybe I can do it. Let me.
Okay, there we go. I got it.
Okay.
Mine's top. Mine is on placement. I never know where to place them once they've enrolled. Where in the structure do you place them? That's the issue.
Okay, that's a question everybody always has. There's no magic genie lamp because unfortunately we never know what people are going to want to do. But in general, we can make a couple comments about that, okay? And that's why doTERRA gave us the Power of 3 bonus to help us structure. So they know that for us to make the most money and the most profitable structure is to have 3 legs going down, okay? So we're aiming for that. Of course, when it's very, very important when you're doing your membership overviews to ask the people at the end of that membership overview, you know, we find in doTERRA there's 3 kinds of people. And the first kind of person is, you know, that's where you do user share builder. And where do you see yourself fitting in? And then you're going to have to, this is where you're going to have to go with your gut. You really have to go with your gut. And
Right.
And if they're enrolled number 1 as a customer, it makes a difference if they're enrolled as a wellness advocate. As you know, we can't build under customers. So in general, you're going to start with enrolling people on your front line. But of course, you don't want 50 people in your front line.
That's what I have.
Right. So what you want to do is when you can identify your builders, then any other wellness advocates or people that are enrolling as a wellness advocate, but they're not saying they want to build, they just want to share, or if they're just a customer, okay, meaning you can't build under them, but their volume can count, rather than having that volume spread all out this way, you want to make that volume count under somebody. So what you do is you take all those wellness customers and you start doing that power of three structure under a leg, under a wellness advocate, ideally someone that says they wanted to build.
Right.
Now, if you say, well, I haven't met a builder yet, well, then you just start doing it under a wellness advocate.
Right.
And sometimes what happens is as you start building that under a wellness advocate and you do that power of three structure for them, they can collect the
Then they
money
can
on
see.
that.
Yes.
And you start getting that check, then you get their attention, and it's like, oh,
Right.
well, and then sometimes they revert and they decide they want to be the wellness advocate, but you can't
Right.
for sure. So in general, we've been taught and we follow that we're going for the power of three structure and working within that modality and keeping your customers, placing them, like I said, for volume purposes under other ideally builders. Okay.
Right. Right.
Now, let's just say for whether it's your first, second, or third leg, whatever, you want or need another leg going, but the builder has not come along yet. What you can do is put someone in a holding position. And what happens is you take someone that has absolutely no interest in doTERRA, building doTERRA. Ideally, maybe it's an older grandmother or an aunt or somebody like that. They have no interest, but what you do is you enroll them and put them on your front line, okay? And then start building under them, okay? And then when the builder comes along, you can say to that person that says they want to build, just say, well, I have an opportunity that I'd like to run by you. I have this leg that's been building. I can gift this position to you.
Right.
But when you do that, you have to definitely lay out the stipulation of there's a certain amount of responsibility goes with this. And here's the expectations I have from you. And you can also even actually draw up a contract on a piece of paper, a simple one, putting in those expectations, and also put if certain things are not followed, that at the end of 6 months, that she's willing to give that a position to somebody else, that she will give that position to somebody else. Okay?
Okay.
So that's something else you can do. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, well, let's take a look at, they're going to be talking on page 16 in our brochure about bigger kits. And this, I think, is a really great exercise because a lot of times what happens is when we're practicing different things, we don't practice something like this and we don't have the verbiage for it, okay? So they're giving you an opportunity here to look at these larger kits and really write some key bullet points of what are the advantages of these kits. And then that way you can incorporate it into your script, okay, when people are talking. Now what we found, what I just want to say about this is we found in general that whatever kit or amount of money spending you're comfortable with is what you're going to do with people. And if you're not comfortable with spending $500 right now, you're going to think that everybody else isn't comfortable with spending $500. But the best thing to do, and it will surprise you, my daughter just recently enrolled a young woman with a diamond kit. She lives out of her car. She doesn't have an apartment, a house, or anything. She lives out of her car, and she bought a diamond kit. She's a free spirit. That's her lifestyle. She doesn't want to be bothered with mortgages or rent or anything like that. It works for her. That's the way she wants to live. She's a massage therapist, going to massage therapy school. And she wanted the diamond, and she's got loads of cash. And that's what she wanted. So if Natalie would have prejudged, oh my God, this woman she's living out her car. Do you see the difference it could have made? So don't prejudge. And the way to get around that is if you put into your script, when it's time to start telling people the different types of enrollment kits we have, is to say, you know, I don't know anybody's financial circumstances, and I'm not going to begin to know, and I don't want to know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to review them all for you, and you pick the one that you think fits your needs best. So now you want to point out to the people some key phrases here we have a circle here. Always how much money they're saving when they're buying that particular kit. How much they're getting in free product credits is really important to point out. And also in the loyalty rewards program, how they're starting out at a higher percentage. Like this kit is 25% that they're starting out when they're buying. This is the diamond kit up here, when they're buying the diamond kit, okay? So when someone sees, well, and they may be sitting there thinking, you know what, I know I'm going to want everything on down the road. And if I just get it up front, I can save $800. You know, they just might want to do that, okay? Maybe if somebody had presented that to me, I might have considered that because I'd like to save money. And that's a lot of money to save. And I knew I was really going to be using doTERRA, but no one ever pointed that out to me, okay? So again, we're the messenger. But we want to make sure we're giving them a really good, clean message, okay? Then this particular kit here, Every Oil Kit, where they're saving $285. If they place their loyalty rewards order the next month of 100 or more, they're going to get 200 free. How much of that is going to, that's an extra savings of, now they're up to almost $500 savings, and they're starting at 20%. That's a pretty good deal. Then this, which we always say is the most popular kit because this is the one that the company does sell the most, is the Natural Solutions Kit. And this is, you're saving $98. You're getting the 100 in free product credits. They're calling it, you get a free diffuser, okay? That's one way to say it, I guess. But this is for the person that, you know, says, I really want to start lowering the toxins in my house and in my family's life. I want to start supporting with nutrition and doing good things for that. And I want to have a nice choice of oils to use for my family. That's why it's such a popular kit. It's really, really nice. Okay, so this exercise is real good for you. Get on there and start writing your bullet points of what you want to say and then start practicing it. Okay, any questions on the kits? Okay, let's go on to page 18. We're going to be looking at resolving concerns. And they've done a real good job here of giving you a lot of typical things that people use as excuses or to delay, or for some reason why they aren't totally sure they're ready to get rolling. So here's some really good verbiage for you to learn to incorporate into your scripts. So I think you can do that on your own. Placements we just addressed, but on page 19, they're giving you some more. I talked about placeholder down here, but they're telling you a little bit more of the rules. So they're all laid out for you right here, which is kind of nice because it took me probably 3 years to learn this. Because, you know, somebody kind of says, well, I think it's this way. And somebody else says, well, I think it's that way. This is true right here. This is it. Okay, so you know the truth and you know what you can do and can't do and about placement and movement, okay? When it comes to placing people initially, even though you don't know, you're not sure what they're going to do. Some people take the philosophy, well, I'm just going to throw them on my front line and then I'm going to move them. I don't do that. I try to really go with my gut when I'm meeting that person based on our conversation and everything we're saying and she's saying, of putting them in a place where I think they're really going to be. Because then I figure I still have another 14 days that I could then move them again if that's not the place I wanted them. But if it was the place I wanted them, then I don't have to worry about forgetting about it, you know, or whatever. So you can use whatever philosophy works better for you, but that's how I like to address it. How you make your money. This is a really nice chart in here to have, and I would keep this or put it in a sheet protector, whatever, and use it when you're talking to people. But it's real important. I know I'm finding out that when I talk to people, you know, especially when I started pointing out these wonderful new bonuses that we have for the ranks of Premier and Silver, these $200 bonuses that are out now, the empowerment bonuses, and people, that's getting people's attention to understand why it's important to want to rank up if you're a builder. But the other part of it, does everybody understand that when you're ranking up, you're getting paid another layer deeper? You get that? Do you know, don't assume everybody gets that. People just, I don't know what they're thinking, but they're sitting at director or manager and they don't understand that they're only getting paid 2 and 3 levels down. And that's going to be a lot of money over time sitting on the table. So out to them, I think this empowerment bonus is really going to help us in people understanding, now that you're a premier, you get this extra 200 bonus every month that you rank as a premier. And then every month as you rank as a silver, you're not only getting the leadership pool bonus, but you're also getting an empowerment bonus as a silver, which is great. But understand that once you're at the rank of silver, you're getting paid all levels down, 7 layers down, okay? I think the best thing I could say is don't assume that people are understanding that. So it gives them a little bit more motivation of understanding whatever, type of income they're looking for from doTERRA. They can make it happen quicker as they rank up, okay? Any questions on that or using this? Okay. The next thing is on LRP follow-up on page 22. And they say the fortune is in the follow-up, and the fortune is in the follow-up. And does everybody here, let me make sure I understand where you're at. Does everybody here, if someone enrolls with you, do you give them a membership overview? Just shake, you can shake your heads if you. Okay, is there anybody that does not do membership overviews?
There are times I have not, and I regret those times. And I actually was thinking while we're talking about this, I want to go back. I don't care if it's been 6 months and talk to those people, because I haven't. There's a few I just skidded by. I'm like, well, they're not really interested. I don't want to waste their time. But they're the ones that just kind of fall to the side. So you think that's okay to go back after months and
Always.
say, hey, I have this new?
Always.
Okay.
Always. And I just made a copy of it. I'll post it. Let me make a note to post it on the group page. I don't know if you've all seen it. It's on the Share Success page is where I got it from, under forms. But there's a customer appreciation script. And there's all kinds of scripts on there. But one of the key ones, Amanda, is scripts for those people that haven't ordered in a while, or in this case, like you haven't been in contact with. And they give you some really good words and some really good suggestions on that customer appreciation script for going back. So,
Right.
Because I think, let me write it down so I don't forget. Script. I think doTERRA did a great job of pointing this out to us with the great statistics we got back in December with that promotion that they ran for people to re-enroll and get the free oils, and how many people not only re-enrolled, but they got on LRP. So I think that answers your question right there, Amanda. Absolutely. And life changes, and it's not always, I'm not saying it's your fault that it didn't happen. I mean, sometimes life just happens and it doesn't work, but it doesn't mean, you can't go back because the person obviously had the interest. Well, what I love on this, and please pay attention to it, is I'm going to talk in a minute about the membership overview and doing that because it's so important. I want to spend some time on that. But after that, you've got to remember they're still new. It's still new to remember back. I mean, you have the membership overview and you show them how to log in and how to set up that template for the LRP and how to do it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to roll. So I've incorporated a practice for myself that I'm finding is working a whole lot, is really being profitable. That with the people that I know, and I question, are they really going to know that they're going to order every month? For the first 3 months, I put little tickle stars with their name on my calendar when their LRP order is. So, well, actually, I do it a couple days before their LRP is going to go in. And I just contact them and just let them know and just say, would you like any assistance with your LRP? Or do you have any questions about placing that LRP? And then depending what they say, and I'm finding that there are still questions usually, and I answer those questions and help smooth it over. And sometimes it's only taken a month or two and then they feel good, they're on their way. But sometimes, it's being very helpful. This is all part of customer service. But after that, once you've got someone and you've enrolled them and you've done your membership overview and they're rolling and they're doing, and you've helped them get a personalized plan, what then? what then? There needs to be some type of support. And they gave you a really nice schedule down here on this page. It says, well, first, while they're waiting for their product to arrive, of course, you're in contact with them, and you're scheduling the membership overview, etc. But then it says 3 to 10 days after the product has arrived, conduct your membership overview, which we're doing. But then every month, you need a way to be in contact with them to let them know about monthly specials and product education events. If all your people are on Facebook, that's great. You can have a Facebook page where you can just be posting everything. I have a lot of older people that are not on Facebook. So I also have email support. That's why I went with Synduit. And Synduit provides a monthly newsletter template, and that way I just plug in my information every month, and then I know that everybody is getting that newsletter in their email. So I highly recommend Synduit, but if you're not in a place yet where you want to spend $25 a month for this particular service, as far as time goes, it would take me hours and hours every month to make a newsletter. I mean, just the newsletter function of Synduit alone, I think it's worth the money, much less all the other campaigns that they have that you can run. But then it says every 60 to 90 days, and Amanda, here comes, offer additional membership overviews. So you can call them and just say, we haven't talked in a while, whatever, I just want to see if maybe you want to get together. I can share some of the new products with you. Or maybe we can, go into some more detail about, some personal issues that you might want to use with the oils in conjunction with them or whatever. And then if no order is placed in 60 days, you do those customer appreciation calls. And that's that script I referred to at the sharesuccess.com/library. And you go under forms, and it's called customer appreciation script. There's lots of free forms in there that are really nice to use. So that's going to keep.
What was it again?
sharesuccess.com/library.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where it's in the service and the follow-up. And then when you do that, and if you're establishing that good relationship with people, it's not hard to make calls to these customers afterwards, because you've got this nice rapport. And then like this month, when doTERRA comes up with this incredible incentive program with the 50 free PV, you can go back to those people and you can call them and just say, Mary, I just want to touch base for a minute with you, but I wanted to let you know what I'm doing this month. I said, I have this opportunity where if you'd be willing to get a few friends together, that we could teach them and share about doTERRA, I have 50 PV free to offer you as a thank you for doing that. So I'm giving that to all my hostesses. Would you be able to do that this month? Could we get together for an hour with some of your friends? It's not costing me a dime with this incentive. I'm using 50 PV that I know I'm going to get at least one enrollment, so I'm giving that 50 PV to her. And then I'm telling her that her people are going to get, the 50 PV. So it's a great time for her friends to get free oils. And any enrollment over one enrollment is going to be, you're going to get the 50 PV free, right? So, but it's not costing you anything. You're not using your points out of your account. You're using what doTERRA is padding onto that. So at months like this, you really, really want to take advantage of this. On the months that they're offering that free product, maybe you want to offer the free product as a big gift, a hostess gift for the highest hostess for that particular month, like the Deep Blue, $100 worth in free product of Deep Blue. Call your people and just say whoever hostesses and has the largest amount in enrollments or in PV is going to get the $100 worth of Deep Blue for free. I don't know, very few people don't use Deep Blue, right? I mean, it's a great product. And of course, another month that they offer is Immortelle, and people really want Immortelle. That's a motivator. I host a class for Immortelle. So thinking about that. But I want to really address the membership overview. It's so important. When I started, we didn't talk about this. Nobody talked about it, and we didn't do them. And I have many people that just went by the wayside because They just didn't know what they were doing. And, they probably never even opened their boxes. So once we started doing this, the retention in my organization really, really went up. So this is just part of it. And I just train people, you've got to do membership overviews. Number one, it's really helping you build that relationship with the person. Number two, they've got to understand loyalty rewards program. And it's such an incredible program. You've got to have that moment to really, really let them see what this is that doTERRA is offering them. Number three, you don't really personalize the use of these oils at the intro class. So you need some time to really sit down across the table from that person and just say, what type of health concerns do you have that you would like to see how oils could support those health concerns? And that's what we're going to do at a membership overview. This is the time to plug them into resources, right? Plug them into resources. So when I do a class and I tell them my intention at the beginning of the class, I say, my intention here at this class is to empower you to be a healer in your home, so that your first line of defense when you have a health concern are these wonderful natural solutions of essential oils. So when I meet with them for the membership overview, I said, I remember when I told you I wanted to empower you to be a healer in your home. I don't want you wanting to call me, and ask me what to do. I want you to know what to do. So you want to provide resources. Minimum, you're going to give them a A to Z guide or a little book or a mini Modern Essentials book, the pamphlet, so they have something if they're not ready for the big book, right? Okay, but we do want to take along the big books. Now, I have the practice. I buy those big books. You can go together with other people and buy larger quantities, and then you get them for $15.86 a piece, which is and free shipping, which is really great. So that's my investment rather than the $27 in a book. And I always have the books. I always offer them at my cost to the people. But they're always a tool for me also that I'm using for either to offer it free for those people that start their LRP with 100 or more, or I use it as a booking tool for people that are willing to book. I offer the book. I always like to offer either oils or the resources like that are going to support them to empower them to be oil users, or a diffuser. That's another way where they're going to be using their oils more. And then they're going to see the diffuser recipes, and then they're going to be using their oils more. So we're constantly teaching them how to incorporate these oils into their life. So we're plugging them into resources. We got to find out if they're a user share builder. You may not necessarily have had time to really talk about this when you were closing at the intro class. You've got to find out. And of course, this is service. This is service. I've recently been having some interaction with the medical community, and I'm realizing again, it's not personal. And I feel like a number, and I'm shoved through a couple minutes with a doctor and whatever. The nurses have no rapport, and it's awful. And here you're willing to take your time and sit there and look them in the eye and say, I want to be present for you. I'm here. I'm concerned. I have these oils. I want you to know how to use them. Let's see what we can do to support that issue. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot that doesn't work in our day-to-day. People, we don't get that all over, Even I know myself when I'm out in, say, going to Panera or something like that, it doesn't take much extra, but that attitude and how that person presents themselves or what they have to say can make all the difference in the world in my day and how I feel. Are you relating with me? It doesn't take a lot. It's just that little extra that really makes you feel different about that place and that person. So we always want to have a heart of service, that we're here to serve. So let me address three brochures here. Is anybody using this one for their membership overviews, the Edge? Okay, let's see hands. Okay. Yeah, this is the one that I've been using since the beginning. Really, really like this one. I want to show you another one. Now, the Share Success program uses this Live Guide. Have you seen this one? Okay, we're using this one. It's a good one to use. So just want to make sure you're aware of these. And a third one is the Live Naturally tools. Is anybody using this one? No. Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter which one you're using. All three of them are very good. What I would like to cover are the basic principles of what you're trying to make happen in a membership overview, which is what I just kind of talked about. So first of all, I'll just use this one since the majority of people have been using this one. It's great. Get their member ID and their password down here. Okay, that's really, really important, and gives them the website up here where they go to. That's good basic information, okay? I don't start here. I go here. I start here and I tell them that I describe the wellness pyramid to them, okay? Everybody has heard this described before? Okay, I don't need to go into that, okay. But what I tell them to do here is I said, what I want you to do is just rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in each category where you feel you are right now. And this category of rest and manage stress, break it into 2. Rate your rest, how much rest, are you getting enough rest? And then rate yourself as far as your stress level. So I have them actually write the numbers in here, okay? It only takes a minute. So they write the numbers down on that pyramid. When they're done, this is what I say. I say, okay, if I could show you a way that you could raise these numbers, maybe even 2 points. For example, let's take the rest category. Right now you're at a 4. If we could get that up to a 6 or a 7, what difference would that make in your life? How would that look in your life? And she says, oh my God, I mean, if I was actually getting some rest at night and not blah, 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 then I said, yeah, how would that affect your life? That, you know, you kind of sometimes guide them a little bit. And then she's going to tell you what that would feel like, okay? The point of that is you want to take them first to where they're at and have them acknowledge that they're deficit right now, that they do need support, that they can improve. There's areas of improvement needed in their health, right? But they have to tell themselves that. They're not going to listen to you telling them that. We're just bringing the awareness forefront. And then by having them actually talk about what that would look like, we're having them visualize, right? We all know about visualization, the importance of it. So that's what's happening here. So it's just a little 2-3 minute exercise, but very, very important to set the key. So then I tell her, I said, you notice how there's different colors in each one of these categories? Well, what I'd like to show you now is exactly how we can support you in those categories with doTERRA. Okay? And then we go through and I point out, here's the green category. And then I point out whatever her number was, okay? And just say, this is a very, very important category for you because you're saying your diet is terrible and you know you don't eat right, you know, and you're eating fast food all the time, whatever. You dialogue, obviously, with what she said. But you point out then, and I tell her as we're going along, if there's a product that we think that would really support your health, let's put a check mark in the box. So she's putting the check marks in the box as she goes along. And you do that for each category, okay, all along. Then I come back to this first page and I go, well, now that we know how to support your health in general, and we found out what products will really help you with that, what I like to do, let's get a little bit more detailed now. I'd like you to write down here 3 concerns that you have, other concerns for your health or for your family's health that you would like to see how you could address with essential oils. And write those down here. And she writes them down, okay? And then we get out the book, whether you're using Minor Essentials or the Essential Life, and I teach her how to look them up. And we look them up, and I have her write down the oils over here that support that. The oils that she does not have, I have her circle. And I just tell, and I'm saying throughout the thing, you know, when she says, oh yeah, I think I'd really want to use that, I said, well, that would be a good product for your LRP order. Well, this would be good for your LRP order. She may not even realize what LRP is, but I keep saying that, okay? And the same thing here, let's circle the oils that you don't have. Those are oils that you would want to consider for your LRP order, okay? And then for the daily use, we go down here and I always put in the lemon. I always put in the frankincense. I always write down the balance. Everybody needs to be doing that every day. Dr. Hill told us that. Okay? And so we write those down. And she has a lemon. Most likely they have the lemon and they have the frankincense. They don't have the balance, so we circle the balance. Okay. So then, after we've done that, I ask her, out of all these categories now that we've done, which category is of most importance to you? And then she'll tell me, and she'll say, you know what? I think after we've talked, what I really need to do is just detox and start over. This really is most important to me. Or she may say, you know what? The stress is really it. Whatever they say. Then I tell them, you know what? Then that's going to be your first month's LRP order. That's where we want to start. Okay, with those products you don't have. And I said, I've been talking about this LRP and everything. I said, what I want to do now is explain this to you because it's such an incredible program. And that's where I'll explain it to her, okay? And then I get on the computer and I go over the how to set up the template and give her all the details about LRP. So once we've done, yeah.
I can ask a question. This is really good information for me. I am learning right along with all these gals. You do a beautiful job with this. I am so grateful to be on this. I'm not kidding. You brought out some really important points. So about how long does it take, though, to do something like this? Because I'm always anxious in a sense for them because I'm taking too much of their time. So what should we set as a precedent? Say, I'm going to take an hour, 2 hours. What do you usually say?
Well, I tell them when I'm booking it, I'm telling them, the purpose and the purpose of our membership overview is to maximize your membership, show you the benefits, how to maximize your membership. Number 2, I want to make sure you know how to use these oils that you're purchasing now. And number 3, we want to go into some detail of other oils and how they can support your health concerns. I said, we're going to need a good hour and a half to do that.
Okay.
And it does. My membership overviews are an hour and a half. Sometimes, depending what we're talking about, we'll get into 2 hours. But this is my one and only big time chance to make that connection. And you don't make the connection in a half hour. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Now, conversely, I will tell you, if you go on the sharesuccess.com website and you go under ranking and click on Launch to Elite, the other program, click on Launch to Elite and go down to their videos. Like we have videos, go down to their videos. And there's under support, Laura Jacobs does a half-hour membership overview. And she kills it. She absolutely kills it. I can't kill it in a half hour. Laura Jacobs has magical words and she's so smooth and she's awesome. But I'd watch that video. And I'm not saying you have to do hour and a half membership overviews to make that connection. I'm just telling you who I am and what it takes for me. But watch that over and over. She does an incredible membership overview in a half hour. And she really hits every point and gets the job done. She's master. She's a master.
And that you bring out a good point, because what we could do is modify it for people as well. Maybe someone says, I don't have that kind of time. Could we cover the basics in a half an hour? Then you've got some tools from her to be able to hit the basics. And then you might have someone who's looking forward. That's a part of her entertainment that day is you're coming over. I mean, I have a lot of retired people. And so they're like, oh yeah, come on over. I'm going to have some coffee and we make a day out of it. So that is really good information. And you may gonna hit this, but this is the really cool thing about the numbers that I was just thinking of when you were talking about rating where you're at physically and emotionally and stuff like that with those
the pyramid.
That pyramid is therein lies the fact that you can say, or the impetus to say, I'd like to check back with you in 30 days or 60 days to see if we've improved these numbers. Is that kind of where you go with?
Great. That's great, Jan. Absolutely. I don't use that. I like that terminology. I haven't used that terminology. I like that terminology of referring back to the wellness pyramid, but I'm just obviously checking up to see,
okay.
They've improved. Yes, but not with that terminology. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, well, good.
I love that. Going back to the pyramid, that's great.
Good.
That's great. Well, then after we've got her all set and showed her how to enroll and whatever, then I point out on the back the resources. And I really recommend buy these labels, get a sheet of 30 labels or the sheet of the 80 labels, and this information that is the same for everybody, stick labels on so you don't have to be writing on here every time. Just save yourself some time in writing. When the weekly team calls are, your contact email, if they have a sponsor, maybe you're the enroller, but you're not the sponsor, you want them to have their information. So, that type of thing on here, the team websites, the team Facebook groups, that's all stuff you can put on a label. That's not going to change. So they have that. So I refer that to them to tell them how they're going to be completely supported. I tell them they're going to be getting a monthly newsletter from me. They know I'm going to be checking back like we talked earlier. But then down here, don't skip this part. This is really important. All right. So says, if you're not sure what to say, just read the words off of here. Edge did a great job. It says, what best describes your level of interest? I would like to host a class. I would like to get my products for free, or I would like to create an income with doTERRA. You can use those words right there. I already told you what words I use. First, I start out and I say, I find that in doTERRA, there's 3 types of people. And I describe a user, I describe a sharer, and I describe a builder. Where do you see yourself fitting in? So based on what she says, if she says, I'm just using these for me, and I have no interest in sharing right now. I want to learn about these, which a lot of times you'll get people say, I want to use them for a while first, right? They do. But I will still question her. I will add one more question to that. I will say, well, I understand that, it's brand new for you, but do you think as you see these oils working for you that, or have you thought about other people that you think might be interested in using these for natural health care? And 9 times out of 10, she's going to say yes. So I just make a note of that, in my mind that she definitely on down the road, if not right now, could be a booking. Okay. But if she says, no, I don't want to, I said, do you have any interest in learning how to get your oils for free? And they'll always ask me, well, what do you mean? Like, how? And then I'll just tell them, I said, well, if you'd be willing to get people together for a class or maybe more than one class, I said, we can get you an income to where you can get your oils paid for free. And if she wants to know, I just explained the power of 3 to the 250 level. All right, that's as far as I go. So basically I'm telling her we would share oils with enough people till we found 12 that really wanted to use these on a regular basis. And then doTERRA will be sending you a $250 check. That's what would be our goal, to go for that. And that's that discussion. And then the third one is, did you ever consider doing what I do? I'm really looking for some key people. And if this person has really hit me that I really think they would be good at this, I'm going to approach her and offer her the opportunity. I'm going to say, have you ever considered doing something like what I do? I said, you asked all the questions at the class, and you have this knowledge and interest that you shared, blah blah, whatever it was I saw in her, I would point it out to her and just say, did you ever consider doing what I do? And we don't ask enough. We just don't ask enough. So this is really, really important to use that down here. Okay, so any questions on membership overviews?
Debbie?
Yes.
Johnson. Sorry I got in late. I was thinking it was 9:30. Watching those videos with Laura Jacobs doing it in 30 minutes, we have to remember that that's her saying what she's saying. There's no interaction from the other person in that video.
Yes, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So, because to do it justice and to really do a service to the other person, I agree. I don't know how it can be done in 30 minutes. So I just wanted to add that in there because it's just the reality. You need that conversation going back and forth, which is of course going to make it extend longer. So, and
right.
It should. Membership overview is really a key in the success of how much people are going to really dig in and get involved and start using and growing it right away or experiencing all the benefits.
It's your retention. It really, really is. Now, obviously, these people have to be self-motivated that they want to do this, but we're providing the support. It will not be because I didn't provide the support they needed if someone chooses to not do this anymore.
Debbie,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much, because I was taught to fly through that and not take up their time, like Jan was talking about. And so I'm listening to you talk about it, and I'm thinking, oh my word, I can think of key people that I went to and did a membership overview, and I think I probably didn't make them feel as cared for as I feel for them, because I was trying to rush. And I love to just go ahead and set the appointment up for an hour and a half, and then they know, and then you're not imposing on their time.
Yeah,
I love that.
Right, and you know what? When people get into it, they're very, very appreciative, and they really open up to you. They really, really do. A couple other things about the membership overview that I added to it as time went by. I should have had one here to show you guys. I have a bag here. Well, basically, I can just tell you what I do. I bring to everybody, because I told them at the class, I told you what my phrase is. My intention here is to empower you to become a healer in your home, right? So to go along with that, I have a bag that I bring them with some tools in to support them as being an oil user. And here's what I choose to put in there. I put in there 2 roller balls, okay, so they can be making blends. I give them 5 sample bottles, little sample bottles. I give them a couple pipettes. Everybody knows what the pipettes are? Okay, so they can put the oil, transfer it. I put a couple pipettes in there. I put in an inhaler, the plastic inhaler that they can put oils on to use, okay? I give them a 2-ounce or 1 or 2 ounce glass spray bottle, so they can minimally make an On Guard hand sanitizer to carry around in their purse right away, which is so important. There's a to Z guide or a Modern Essentials little book as a resource, so they have until they get something bigger. And I think that's about it. Does that sound about right on my tools?
That's for who?
I give that to everybody that I go to do a membership overview with.
Wow, that is so great.
I give them those tools because I'm empowering them to be a healer, and they're going to need those tools. They're more inclined to do it if they have the roller ball, and if they have the inhaler, and they have the spray bottle, and they see how easy it is.
Exactly.
And then I've given them the resources of where to get more. But I always tell them, I'm giving you sources here, but be a good shopper. I said, I shop around on Amazon and eBay and whatever. I just bought a box of 50 roller balls, and I think I'm paying 30 cents a piece for them. I got it on eBay. So you got to shop around. But I want to give them and I also give them really, really important. Does everybody have either this bookmark, or do you have a paper where it translates what, like Deep Blue is called the soothing blend in the books, the generic names for our oils? Okay, let me make a note. I have a sheet with a whole bunch of these on the sheet, and you can just copy them and cut them, okay? And this is a bookmark for their book, and then it has the translation of the oils. Very, very important tool. So let me write that down, bookmark.
I love that, Debbie. Like, that just excited me so much.
Okay, great. I will post that. Yeah, because you don't know. Sometimes I have to stop and think, what's the invigorating blend again? Oh yeah, citrus was okay. But even I forget, and they're brand new to it. They're not going to know. And that's going to be a stumbling block, right? That's going to cause them to stumble. They're not going to know what oil when they're reading in those books. So there's one of these in the bag also.
I love this. What you've really done is you've helped me to see it from a new person's perspective, to make it as easy to get started as possible. Instead of sending them the Aroma Tools website and say, you can get all this stuff there, and they don't even know where to begin. You know what I mean?
And most of them won't do it. Most of them won't, take that.
Exactly. Debbie, this is invaluable. This really is. And it's not a lot of money. And the other thing is the way that I would do it, because sometimes you can't get people to say yes to a membership overview, is say, I'm bringing you a little gift when we do our membership overview.
There you go. Thank you. Nice little touch. And I have another added touch. I haven't gotten to the dollar store yet, but I saw somebody posted online somewhere. She does this too, but she found cutesy boxes at the dollar store. They were adorable for $1. And she gives them this cutesy box with this stuff in it. And that makes an impression too. So your ultimate cost, depending what you want to put in this bag, is going to be anywhere from $3 to $5. That's an investment I'm making in her, but that's for retention. You're going to get it back because this is somebody that's going to continue to order every month because you built this rapport, this relationship. You're empowering her how to use this. She's going to use them then. So that's why you put your money where it's invested to empower them to be good oil users. And plus the fact she knows those things cost money and you're giving them to her. That's your heart. That's your heart. And remember what happens when you give? You get back tenfold, right? So it's good principles. So I do that on the membership overview. And then I also, when we're talking about booking a class, down here, just another aside I just thought of booking a class, that's when I give her the incentive. And then that's when I'll tell her, and based on our conversation, I'll make it personal. I mean, if I know this lady has a diffuser and she really wanted a diffuser, I'll offer her that as a hostess gift. Or if I know that she really wants the book, and to get the book for free, I'll offer that to her for hosting a class, when doTERRA doesn't have this wonderful free 50 PV going. I mean, it's just an awesome promotion. Okay. Any other questions?
Debbie, will you post on our Facebook group everything that you put in that box?
Yeah, I will. I could do that.
I wrote it down, but I think I missed a few. Thank you.
Post bag. And remember, use your imagination and you can make your own thing in there too. Some people like to make people blends. Some people like to make people maybe even start out, depending on your finances, maybe give her just the spray bottle with the On Guard spray, On Guard spray in it, or make her a personal roller bottle, or I don't know, I'm not always that creative. I usually look and see what other people are doing, and then it stimulates my creativity, and I go from there. But you got to watch your budget. I understand that. I know what else I put in there, but it'll be on the website. I put in a toothpaste sample. I put in a deep blue sample. And when you can get them, I'll put in shampoo and conditioner samples. Can't always get them. They seem to run out of those a lot. I'll put samples of product in there because I want her to try. You tell them how awesome our toothpaste is. Well, yeah, who's going to listen, right? You got to try that toothpaste and see how awesome it is.
Debbie, could you also repeat again what it is you say your little... You said when you give them their hostess gift, you say you had a little, no, am I not on?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Are you talking about her incentive?
No,
initial, yeah.
I think I wrote it down, Annette.
Yeah.
I know you did, Christine.
My intention for you is to empower you to be a healer in your home.
Oh,
that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's a second part to that. Yes, my intention is to show you how to become a healer in your home so that your first line of defense is a natural solution using our wonderful oils. We all know that there are going to be times that people's health care is going to go beyond our oils. I mean, we know that. So I'm not saying this is the end all and be all for their health care, but I want it to be the first line of defense. If you have a headache, I don't want you taking an Advil. I want you grabbing your jar of peppermint, your bottle of peppermint, right? So those are the words I use. And I'll definitely post this stuff for you. Okay, well, there's a lot covered this week. So be diligent. You've got some great information in this brochure and pick, focus on start with the area for you that is your weakest link or where you really need some more work, and these membership overviews, practice. You can just practice, and the more you do, the more you do. And one other thing I wanted to say, consistency is the key in this business. I'll take anybody any day that does one class a month over somebody that'll go out there and do 4 classes and then they don't do anything for 6 months. You don't learn anything. You forget your skills don't get honed. Consistency hones your skills, and people just don't realize the money that can be here with doTERRA, even on beginning levels. Let's address this just for 1 minute. Let's say all your goal and what you do is hold 1 class a week. Everybody can find the time to hold 1 class a week, all right? So you hone your skills. So when you're holding a class, you want to, and we cover that in here, booking classes from classes. I learned this long ago when I was in network marketing back when I had my first baby, okay? I did not have a lot of free time, and I couldn't be paying sitters and everything. So when I had that class in that 2-hour slot, I made sure I got my sales, I made sure I got my bookings, I made sure I got my future recruits. That's what we call them in that business, okay? So I got really, really good at booking classes from classes because I didn't have the time to go out there and try to look for people that were interested in my product. So I got really, really good at booking. So my incentives and everything were booking from the classes. So that's what I honed on and got real good at. So when I would hold a class, I would have at least 2 bookings from that class. And every class I held, I always got 1 or 2 bookings, if not more. So I didn't have to spend time looking for bookings. I just had to be a good coach. And I talked about this last week on a video, how to coach those classes. So I learned that a long time ago. So back to this, you're holding 1 class a week. Let's do an average, okay? We're going to do an average that you're going to enroll 2 people at every class with a home essentials kit. That's the middle of the road, okay? Sometimes it's going to be a family physician, but sometimes it's going to be a natural solution. And again, if you don't prejudge, you're going to get those diamond kits and those every oil kits in there. So we'll just use a nice common average of home essentials kit. Those are 225 PV. So you make 20% in your fast start. That's $44, right? Did I get that right? On each one. So that's, let me do this. I should have wrote this down. 122 for that, and you're doing 2 enrollments. That's $88. Okay, $88. All right, $88, and you're doing it 4 times a month. So that's just under $400 a month that you're going to have coming in fast starts. Okay, that's just fast start. All right, that's not counting now when they go the next month. You do that again. Well, you have your minimum of your $400 coming from your fast starts, but now you got LRP orders going in, and you're doing great membership overviews, right? So you now have 2, 4, 6, 8 membership overviews that are all putting LRP orders in, okay? So all that LRP money, and what do you get paid the next month on an LRP order? 20%. Now you got all that money coming in the next month. And remember, this is always going to be overlapping. Now you add into there that you've got builders building and you're making fast start bonuses on the people they're enrolling. There's another avenue of income coming in. Don't minimize this manager, executive, elite layers. You can be making really, really good cash, ladies, if you're consistent. Hone these 5 skills, be consistent, and you can. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity. And once you're experiencing that and knowing that, that's going to come out and sharing it with others. When you find those people that only need, maybe $300 a month is going to change your life. Maybe it takes $500 to change somebody else's life. Maybe it takes $1,000. It's not that tough to get $1,000 a month in this doTERRA. Hone your skills, do your membership overviews, do great presentations, know how to book, and just be consistent. Just be consistent. Don't stop that momentum that you got going. Make sense?
And I think the key word there is momentum. And that momentum isn't just in activity, it's in your spirit. Because when you've got someone that's enrolling and excited, it excites you. And so that excitement carries over into the next week and the next week and the next week. That's the momentum you want to keep going forward on. Now, whether you get enrollments that next week or not, that's okay. But that's the momentum, is the spirit of which, wow, this is happening and this can actually really work. Because when you pull back and you only do one every 3 months or 6 months, you kind of get in that slump and I don't know if this is really working, and you get that whole gray, dark attitude over you. And the other thing I wanted to say about membership overviews, you guys, is that I went back to some other customers and said, you know, I never knew we didn't have this tool before. And I would love, number one, some people I said, I'd love to practice this with you because I've never done it before. And number two, I really think that if you had this right out of the gate, it would have empowered you more. You would have known more. I would love to go back over this and refresh you for what we're doing. So it was members that I had enrolled 2 years ago. And I went back to them and I said, let's go over this. And that really helped them. Some people, they were, no, I've got this. And, you know, I'm ordering my 1 lemon a month, and they were happy, you know, so that's them. But there were some people who were very, very happy. And like you said, Debbie, it really helps with the retention rate if they know what they're doing. So now I'm going to add those little tools in there too.
Okay, well, have a great week, everybody. We'll get these things posted.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you that are mothers.
Mother's Day, absolutely, to all your moms and moms of, or your mom, if you're not a mom, whatever.
Oh, there's some notes on here, Debbie. Catch some of this before you
Okay.
back out of here. Would you be willing to share a video coaching posted last week? Okay. So just make sure you've gotten these.
Where is the chat? Yeah, I got it. Oh, here's the chat. Oh, there are chats. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't have my chat box open. I was so focused on teaching.
That's okay. You did a great job, Debbie. We are so blessed to have you. I've learned so much from you. It's incredible. I don't feel like I'm pulling my weight in this threesome thing, but I really am very appreciative of you.
Oh,
Debbie.
I am too. You gave me some good, you know, verbiage is everything a lot of times. Just that having that verbiage gives you even more confidence. And I love what you shared. So we all bring our gifts. So
thank you.
All appreciate it. Have a great week, everybody. And I'll
love you guys.
This stuff on the page. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.